Happy day students, a hearty welcome to everyone. In this video, we are going to continue Unit 3 Prose Forgetting, which was written by Robert Lynch. Let us recall what we have seen in the previous video. Robert Lynch wonders about the efficiency of human memory. Modern man remembers even telephone numbers, the addresses of his friends, appointments for lunch and dinner, the names of actors, actresses, cricketers, footballers, and murderers. Thus, he can remember almost everything in his life. Lynch says that in some matters, human memory works less than its usual perfection. For example, most people forget to take the medicine, but they don't forget to take meals. The medicines are usually taken before or after or during meals. So psychologist says that we forget things because we wish to forget them. So people don't like medicines. That is why they forget to take the medicines. In this context, Robert Lynch humorously remarks that chemists make a lot of money. It is because people forget to take medicines and therefore their illness is not cured. So they pay more and more money to the chemist to buy more medicines from them. Okay, so that's all we have seen in the previous video. Let's continue the next paragraph. Let's see the next paragraph. The commonest form of forgetfulness, I suppose, occurs in the matter of posting letters. So common is it that I am always reluctant to trust a departing visitor to post an important letter. According to Lynch, the commonest form of forgetfulness is in posting letters. He is always unwilling, reluctant means unwilling, to trust an outgoing visitor to post an important letter. Most people forget to post letters, so he humorously remarks that if anyone asks him to post a letter, he is a poor judge of character. So little do I rely on his memory that I put him on his oath before handing the letter to him. As for myself, anyone who asks me to post a letter is a poor judge of character. So Lynch get his assurance, as Lynch trusts not much on his visitor's memory. If anyone asks Lynch to post a letter, then that person is a poor judge of character. Even if I carry the letter in my hand, I am always past the first pillar box before I remember that I ought to have posted it. Even Lynch carries the letter in his hand, he will cross the pillar box and forgets to post it. Sometimes he tries to hold it in his hand, so he put it for safety in one of his pockets and forgets all about it. After that, it has an unadventurous life till a long chain of circumstance leads to a number of embarrassing questions being asked, and I am compelled to produce the evidence of my guilt from my pocket. The letter which is not posted leads an unadventurous life. At home, he faces embarrassing questions, and the guilt is brought out of his pocket. This, it might be thought, must be due to a lack of interest in other people's letters. But that cannot be the explanation, for I forget to post some even of the few letters that I myself remembers to write. This might be thought must be due to a lack of interest in others' letter, because while posting others' letters, we certainly have lack of interest, isn't it? But that cannot be the explanation. But the people cannot accept the explanation because he has forgotten to post some of his own letters, because we ourselves forget to post some of our own letters. So Lynch is also forgetting to post his own letters. So Lynch never posts the letters even if he keeps in his pocket. The letter which is not posted leads an unadventurous life in his pocket. At home he faces embarrassing questions. So people ask embarrassing questions. Why you didn't post the letter? So when did I give this letter? So these questions will be asked by the people who gave the letter. And the guilt is brought out of his pocket. This might be thought must be due to a lack of interest in others' letters, but that cannot be the explanation because he has forgotten to post some of his own letters. Okay, let's move on to the next paragraph. As for leaving articles in trains and in taxis, I am no great delinquent in such matters. I can remember almost anything except books and walking sticks, and I can often remember even books. Walking sticks I find it quite impossible to keep. I have an old-fashioned taste for them, and I buy them frequently, but no sooner do I pay a visit to a friend's house or go a journey in a train, then another stick is on its way into the world of the last. By leaving articles in trains and taxis. So many people leave their articles in trains and taxis because of their forgetfulness. Lynn feels that he is not a great culprit. He says that he can remember almost anything except books and walking sticks. So remember, Lynn can remember anything, okay? But he forget some of his books and walking sticks. He often remember even books. He finds impossible to keep walking sticks. Sometimes he can remember to take his books, but he finds impossible to keep walking sticks. But he forgets. Most of the time he forgets his walking sticks. He has an old-fashioned taste for them and he buys them frequently. Frequently he buys walking sticks because he forget. Wherever he goes he forget. Okay. I dare not carry an umbrella for fear of losing it. To go through life without ever having lost an umbrella. As even the grimmest jawed umbrella carrier ever achieved this. But when he pays a visit to his friend's house or goes a journey in a train, then it will be sure that another stick is going to be lost. So it will be difficult to go through life without losing an umbrella. So we also forget, isn't it? We also sometimes forget our umbrella. So during the rainy season. Let's move on to the next paragraph. Few of us, however, have lost much property on our travels through forgetfulness. The ordinary man arrives at his destination with all his bags and trunks safe. The list of articles lost in train during the year suggests that it is the young rather than the adult who forget things, and that sportsmen have worse memories than their ordinary serious-minded fellows. Lynn tells that few of us have lost much property on our travels through forgetfulness. So, on our travels, we forget something, but the ordinary man doesn't forget his bags and trunks. It is the young rather than the adult who forget things. Okay, most of the times adults forget things. Compared to ordinary people, sportsmen have worse memories. A considerable number of football and cricket bats, for instance, were forgotten. A considerable number of football and cricket bats are forgotten by the sportsperson. This is easy to understand. For boys returning from the games have their imagination still filled with a vision of the playing field, and their heads are among the stars or their hearts in their boots as they recall their exploit on their errors. So these boys returning from the games have their imagination filled with a vision of the playing field. Their heads are among the stars, their hearts in their boots. They recall their exploits or their errors. They do not pay attention to what is happening in outside. Memories prevent them from remembering small dull things, like taking the ball or bat with them when they alight from the train. Okay, so they are abstracted from the world outside them. So memories prevented them from remembering to do such small prosaic things. Okay, what is mean by prosaic? It's a dull things, to take the ball or the bat with them when they leave the train. Let's see the next paragraph. For the rest of the day, they are citizens of dreamland. The same may be said, no doubt, of anglers who forget their fishing rods. Anglers are generally said, I do not know with what justification, to be the most imaginative of men, and the man who is inventing magnificent lies on the journey home after a day's fishing is bound to be a little absent-minded in his behavior. So there are citizens of dreamland for the rest of the day. The anglers, what is mean by anglers? People who like fish, okay? People who's doing fishing for pleasures, that is anglers. The anglers who forget their fishing rods are also immersed in their dreams. They are the most imaginative men. So most of the anglers are imaginative people. The fishing rod of reality is forgotten by them as they daydream over the fears of fishing rod of Otafia. Their memory loss is a tribute for their thinking about their day sports. They may forget to take their fishing rod as the poet may forget to post a letters because the angler's minds are filled with more glorious. Okay, the angler's mind are filled with more glorious. So what does that mean? The sportsmen are the citizens of dreamland. So the reason is that they have their imagination still filled with the vision of playing field. So they are abstracted from the world outside of them. So to understand, the people are abstracted from the world outside of them. So both are imaginative people and their minds are filled with matter more glorious. So absent-mindedness of this kind is common about the angler and the poet. So the angler may forget his fishing rod as a poet may forget to post a letter because his mind is filled with matter more glorious. Absent-mindedness of this kind is regarded as a virtue by Lynch. On the other hand, statesman seems to have extraordinarily bad memories. Let two statesmen attempt to recall the same event, what happened, for example, at some cabinet meeting, and each of them will tell you that the other story is so inaccurate that either he has a memory like a sieve or is an audacious perverter of the truth. On the other hand, statesmen have extraordinarily bad memories. Statesman, the politician man. If you ask two statesmen to recall a same event at a cabinet meeting, each of them will tell the other story is wrong. Do you understand? So statesmen seems to have extraordinarily bad memories. The frequency with the facts in the autobiographies and speeches of statesmen are challenged, suggest that the world has not yet begun to produce ideal statesmen, men who have the genius of memory and of intellect combined. Okay, so still we don't have the genius of memory and of intellect statesman. The frequency with which the faces in the autobiographies and speeches of statesmen are challenged suggests that the world has not yet begun to produce ideal statesmen who, like great poets, have the genius of memory and the intellect combined. It shows that they have very poor memory. Okay, in this way, Lind remarks that the world has not yet produced ideal statesmen who have the combination of genius, memory and intellect. Let's move on to the next paragraph. At the same time, ordinarily good memory is so common that we regard a man who does not possess it as eccentric. Ordinarily, good memory is very common. So, we consider a man without good memory as eccentric. What is eccentric? Eccentric, strangely, tending to act in strange. So, I have heard of a father who, having offered to take the baby out in a perambulator, was tempted by the sunny morning to pass on his journey and slip into a public house for a glass of beer. So here, Lind narrates a very funny story of a father who takes his baby out in perambulator. What does mean by perambulator? Look at the picture. A small vehicle in which a baby can be, as it is, pushed along. So look at the picture, you can understand. Was tempted by this sunny morning to pass on his journey and slip into a public house for a glass of beer. So when he was crossing near a public house, he was tempted for a glass of beer. Leaving the perambulator outside, he left the perambulator outside in the street and went into the public house. So he left the perambulator with a child. A little later, his wife had to do some shopping, which took her past the public house. After some time, his wife came that way for shopping. She was horrified to see her sleeping baby in the perambulator. She was so angry with her husband that she decided to teach him a lesson and wheeled away the perambulator. So he take away the perambulator to her house. Now we shall move on to the last paragraph of this lesson. She wheeled away the perambulator, picturing to herself his terror when he would come out and find the baby gone. She arrived home, anticipating with angry reliance the white face and quivering lips that would soon appear with the news that baby had been stolen. She expected that her husband would come trembling and would tell that their baby had been stolen. But on the contrary, okay, but on the opposite, at lunchtime, her husband came home smiling cheerfully. So what does mean by anticipating? Expecting. She expected that her husband would come trembling because of fear, terror, and would tell that their baby had been stolen. But on the contrary, at lunchtime, her husband came home smiling cheerfully. He was very happy. What was her vexation, however, when just before lunch her husband came in smiling cheerfully and asking, "Well, my dear, what's for lunch today?" Having forgotten all about the baby and the fact that he had taken it out with him. He has completely forgotten all about his child and the perambulator, and he asked his wife what was the lunch for that day, okay? What was the lunch today? So he asked his wife what was the lunch that day. She was very angry. So here, Lynn remarks that very few men below the rank of a philosopher would be capable of such absent-mindedness as this man in the story. So how many men below the rank of a philosopher would be capable of such absent-mindedness? Most of us, I fear, are born with prosaically efficient memories. If it were not so, the institution of the family could not survive in any great modern society. So he concludes this prose that most of us are born with ordinarily efficient memories. That is why the institution of the family survives in any great modern society. So I hope you all understood this story. Let's see the summary of this story. This story, Robert Lynn says that in some matters human memory works less than its usual perfection. For example, most people forget to take the medicine, but they don't forget to take meals. The medicine are usually taken before or after or during meals. So psychologist says that we forget things because we wish to forget them. So people don't like medicines. That is why they forget to take the medicine. In this context, so Robert Lynn humorously remarks that chemist makes a lot of money. It is because people forget to take medicine and therefore their illness is not cured. So they pay more and more money to the chemist to buy more medicines from them. So according to Lind, the commonest form of forgetfulness is in posting letters. Most people forget to post letters, so he humorously remarks that if anyone asks him to post letter, he is a poor judge of characters. It is because Lind never posts a letter even if he keeps in his pockets. The letter which is not posted leads an unadventurous life in his pockets. So this might be thought must be due to a lack of interest in others' letters. Okay, but then that cannot be the explanation because he has forgotten to post some of his own letters. So ordinarily good memory is very common. So if a man does not have a good memory, we may call him an eccentric. So Lynn narrates here a funny story of a father who takes his baby out in a perambulator in the morning. When he was crossing near a public house, he was tempted for a glass of beer. He left the child outside. He left the perambulator outside in the street and went into the public house. So after some time, his wife came that way for shopping. She was horrified to see her sleeping baby in the perambulator. She was so angry with her husband and she decided to teach him a lesson and wheeled away the perambulator. So she expected that her husband would come trembling and would tell that their baby had been stolen. But on the contrary, as lunchtime, her husband came home smiling cheerfully. He was completely forgotten all about his child and the perambulator. So here Lind concludes that most of us are born with prosaically efficient memories. That is why the institution of the family survives in any great modern society. Okay, so that's the summary of the story. Okay, thank you, students.